another edition of the Cover 4 podcast brought to you by WTK's Rock Solid Sports, where we've got you covered for all things NFL with Bryson Wright, Jack Foster, Riley Haltom. I'm Joseph Bonanno, and we're finally through Thanksgiving week, which was a really good week of football. A lot of good games, a lot of great games on Thanksgiving. 3 pretty solid performances there on Thanksgiving. The Sunday games were great. Even the primetime games, Sunday night and Monday night, weren't terrible.
Sunday night was fun.
I mean, even Monday night, it started off pretty bad, but I think it ended on a pretty solid note.
Yeah.
So I think.
How about the amount of points scored on Sunday night?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Ridiculous. Was this the best week of football we've had so far?
I don't want to say yes, confidently.
So far, collectively, out of all the games, just in terms of decent games, fun games to watch, was this the best week?
I'll say this. This was the first week in a while when no team was on a bye. So, if I'm rewinding my brain back to the beginning of the season, I remember there being a lot of duds, a lot of sloppy football getting integrated into the season. So I'm going to say yes, just because we saw every team play and there weren't a lot of bad games.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of games that came down to the last second too.
Right. Oh, a lot of, I think, 3 overtime games on Sunday?
Yeah, overtime, or even if it was just down to the last play. There were not a lot of blowouts this week. The only blowouts was really the Jets game. That was a blowout. And then,
the Niners game was never close.
And then you had 3 or 4 games that actually were a last possession game.
Yeah, I remember.
Chargers, Cardinals, and then Ravens, Jaguars both came down to the very last play. So
I remember it was late first half, maybe early second half, and Hansen had put all the scores up on Red Zone, and 4 games were 10-10. And he's it's 10's week, I guess, and there's just a lot of close games.
Yeah, a lot of good games here in what week is this? Week 12. Oh, man, almost there at the end of the season.
Bittersweet.
Yeah, very bittersweet. But with that, let's get into our games of the week because there were so many good games, and we'll start with you over there, Bryson. Your game of the week for week 12.
Well, everybody knows what I said last week about the Lions losing on Thanksgiving. That's my game of the week is going to be that game with the Bills and the Lions. Christmas is officially here, guys. It is Christmas season. Bring out Mariah Carey. I know she's ready. Christmas can start. The Bills beat the Lions, and it was a really good game. Came down to the last second. Now, I will give the Lions credit. They played better than I thought they would. I thought the Bills would probably win this game by a touchdown, at least maybe 2 touchdowns, but it came down to the very last second, and it really was just some heroics from Josh Allen. I mean, a really good bounce back game for him. He had struggled. He still threw an interception, but 250 and 2 touchdowns, and then 78 on the ground and another touchdown on the ground. So this was really just a big bounce back game for him, and really trying to maybe get his name into that MVP race, continue to kind of solidify that, because over the last couple of weeks that people are kind of saying he doesn't have a chance. But I think this was a good game for the Bills. I mean, the Lions played well, and I think Jared Goff had a pretty solid game too. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, that dude is a beast.
Yeah.
That man's nice.
So I want to ask you guys, you mentioned Josh Allen. I don't know if he played too well. I think he played okay, but really just the Bills weren't dominant, right? They had a lot of punts. Yeah. They weren't dominant offensively by any stretch, and it's against a pretty bad Lions defense. Do you think this game was indicative of more the Bills continuing to have some lingering struggles, or the Lions just really turning that page and becoming a pretty good football team?
I think it's a little bit of both, because if you look over the last couple weeks for the Detroit Lions, I mean,
they won 3 games.
In that stretch of 3 games, their defense held 9, then they gave up 30 to Chicago, but then they only gave up 18 to New York, and then they had some plays in the Buffalo game. And that was after, saying, worst defense in the NFL. So I feel like they are getting better, but you can't turn your head away from the Bills and just the struggles they've had. And ever since they put 44 up on the Titans in week 2, that offense and Josh Allen just have not been on the same page.
Yeah, it's kind of been downhill, right?
And so I think it was you that sent the tweet to us about Josh Allen and Matt Ryan having the same amount of turnovers this year.
No, Davis Mills.
I don't think I sent that, but yeah.
So someone said a tweet that Matt Ryan and Josh Allen have the same amount of turnovers this season. But crazy. No, it was Riley. It was Riley because it was the McDonald's workers. Yeah.
That's a funny meme.
It was saying like a male McDonald's worker was like, "Oh, you're a bum, you're poor," and then it was the female. It's like, "Oh, you're so inspiring and uplifting, strong and independent."
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the thing. Okay, the thing I saw was the past 6 games. That's what I said. And Josh Allen, like 61% pass completion percentage for Mills and 59% for Josh Allen. They both have basically the same yards per pass attempt, 6.8 and 7, and they have the same touchdown to interception ratio, which is 6 touchdowns to 7 interceptions.
Yeah. So,
did you guys see Allen and Diggs hug after the game?
Yeah.
You could see it on Allen's face where he's like, "Oh my gosh, we won that game." Like, I don't know if that look was thankfully. I mean, it's definitely thank God we won, but it's a little bit, I think, of man, we have got to work on stuff.
Yeah.
That was way too close than it needed to be, and they had that miracle throw at the that great throw and catch to win in regulation there. So
yeah,
it could have lost an OT if that had gone the other way.
Jack, your game of the week for week 12.
Yeah, my game of the week. I'm sporting the 1-6 today. If you're watching, I got the Jags hat on, sporting the threads on a Victory Tuesday. Victory Monday is great in of itself, but I wanted to extend that into today by repping Trevor Lawrence. And it's the Jaguars and the Ravens. I mean, just a really great game from start to finish. The Ravens kind of had command through 3 quarters and change, and then the Jags with the great game-winning drive, which was to tie it, you thought, and they were going to send it to overtime. Doug Peterson, just the way he plays football, the way he coaches football is awesome. And he chose to go for 2, and Lawrence hit Zay Jones on the out route there at the pylon. A fantastic throw, fantastic catch, and that is not to overshadow the Marvin Jones catch to get the touchdown. So terrific performance from the Jaguars at home coming off the bye. I felt a win coming. I picked the Jags, and they get it done. I really think the Ravens had kind of been squeaking by opponents, and I felt that if they faced an offense with some firepower, that they would struggle, and that's what happened.
The Jags are a very weird team. There are weeks where they look just god awful. They look like the Jags of the past, and then there are games like this one where you're like, oh wow, Trevor Lawrence was definitely worth that first overall pick.
Yeah, and they did it without Travis Etienne.
Yeah, they did it without their young running back. But like they're such a weird team. I don't know if you guys see the Barstool like power rankings that they put out every year, but they put the Jags in teams that suck with a little splash of good.
Yeah,
that's what the Jaguars are. They're teams that they're not a great team overall, but they'll go in and fight the crap out
and
of
it's
you.
like if you catch them on the wrong week, all of a sudden, like they're like one of those teams where it's like you should, like when you look at the Jaguars, like if you're a pretty good team, you're like, okay, we should beat the Jaguars. But they have that 1 week, like every 3 weeks, where they just look like one of the best teams in the NFL.
I know. They did it against the Chargers. Now they do it against the Ravens. They've won 2 of their past 3, though. I feel like they're going to be crescendoing up as the season goes along. Because Trevor Lawrence has been awesome the last 6 games overall.
Well,
and
he's
really turned a leaf.
They still got to play Tennessee twice. And
that's a sweep. I mean, come on, Justin.
Okay.
You know it's a sweep. Don't kid yourself.
Okay. They still got to play. They still got to play Dallas, and they got to play the Jets as well in New York, which is always even though they are not a great team, they're always still a tough place to play in New York.
So you're the smart one, Joseph. Looking at the rest of the schedule there, if as a Jaguars fan, like, what should I look for in win total at the end of the year? How many games should I expect them to win?
I think you'll definitely win the Houston game. There's a chance you could take one against Tennessee, the way they've been playing up and down. You're not winning Dallas, and I would say that the New York. I could say the New York team or the New York game against the Jets is a flip flop.
Like, to me, I honestly think Jaguars should be content with 6 wins on the season.
I could say you could get I'm going to say a ceiling 4 wins the rest of the way.
That would be incredible. Yeah,
that's like a ceiling. But that you got to beat Tennessee once.
Right.
I'm saying they're going to be like 7-10.
7-10. I'll take that. I mean, that's good.
I'm thinking 3. I'm thinking probably 3 wins, but I think they got a ceiling of 4 the rest of the way.
Yeah,
I don't hate that. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. So, but they're a very fringy team, and like Bryson said, you run into them on the wrong week, they'll knock you back.
Riley, by the way, did you see, just real quick, did you see Jackson DeVille, the mascot, what he was wearing?
Oh my God. That was
that was a little much.
It was a little disturbing. Riley, your game of the week.
Yeah, I gotta go with the the Chargers and Arizona game, Chargers and Cardinals. It was a nail biter down to the end, and I'd picked I don't remember what we picked on that game for off the top of my head, but I had picked the Chargers, and the way it was going, I was like, can the Cardinals actually pull this off? Because this was basically a lock for me. I felt like this was one of the easiest games to pick all week because Arizona just hasn't really been getting it done in the past few weeks, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, Chargers easy, wiped it out of my mind. But then come to the fourth quarter, the Cardinals are leading the game. The Cardinals are leading, and Justin Herbert goes down, does what he does, clutches the game out, last second touchdown, 15 seconds left on the clock, wins the game for the Chargers. Just like one of those real nasty, down to the last second type of battles that you love to see in football.
And just like Jacksonville, Doug Peterson, they went for the 2-point conversion. They converted it on a Justin Herbert pass to Gerald Everett.
Too easy, man.
Very wide open. He wasn't touched heading into the end zone, and they take down the Cardinals. And there's some broken relationships starting to happen in Arizona. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But it's not looking good for the Cardinals, who just a year or two ago were looking like a really exciting team.
Isn't their record at home like 1-6 in the past 7
They're
years?
1-6. They're not
season.
great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not great
That
at
is
home.
Awful.
That is awful.
Especially for a place where, you're on a coast. If you get teams coming from the other side of the country, typically they're going to play a little lackluster. So the fact that you're 1-6 as a coastal team is really bad.
Also, fun fact in this game, 9 attempts by running backs.
Wait, what?
That's awful. Well,
9 attempts by running backs.
Let's be fair.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
In that Chargers game for the Chargers.
For the Chargers.
9 attempts by running backs.
Gotcha. Yeah, they just
Justin Herbert led the Chargers in rushing.
Yeah.
47 attempts for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, they were a one-dimensional offense for sure.
That is awful.
Dude, I like the fact that the Chargers were able to win this game, but if they're going to contend, they have got to
use Austin Eckler, dude. He's a fantasy god. Just use him.
Well, they do use him. They just use him as a receiver.
I know, he had 11 catches, and
he
that's
is
what
a running back. He can run the ball. He can run the ball. They just don't.
What I mean is they don't use him as a running back at all. They must not trust our offensive line. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And Herbert has got to throw the ball deeper downfield. The whole check down stuff is so.
Well, it's because his receivers don't get open.
To be fair, he's got two of the slowest wide receiver 1 and 2 combos in the league. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
I mean, Williams can beat people. He just hasn't been healthy. But so we've seen Josh Palmer.
They are not fast, but they're not fast guys. They're not guys that are going to burn.
Well,
people
DeAndre Carter's fast, and they use him as a gadget guy. And maybe he doesn't have the speed. I think he does, but he looks fast on the field. I don't know. Just maybe they have to be doing this out of necessity with the 11 catches to Austin Eckler. I'd love to see where he caught each pass because I would doubt it's anywhere beyond 4 yards from the line of scrimmage.
I am not going to complain. He's on my fantasy team. I'm just saying. I like the points. The points per reception.
The Chargers offense is built to contend, and they aren't going to do it playing the way they are.
Yeah. They're also having some struggles on defense as well with injuries and whatnot. So but the Chargers, big dub over the Cardinals late in that game. Now for my game of the week, and it's one of the overtime games that happened, and that is over in Seattle as the Raiders take down the Seahawks 40-34. And the big story out of this game is none other than Josh Jacobs, who probably had one of the best rushing games of the year so far. 33 carries, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the 89-yard game winner in overtime where he went untouched all the way to the end zone.
Yeah.
It was a really good game. I mean, the Seahawks didn't look bad. Other than the defense, there was no defense in this game, clearly.
Both defenses suck. We've known this.
Both offenses looked really good. Geno didn't look terrible. He did have an interception. Derek Carr had 2 interceptions, but they both threw for multiple touchdowns. Kenneth Walker, I was really surprised how bad he looked. Only 26 yards on 14 carries, but they used him a lot of goal line, so they didn't get him a lot of yards in the middle of the field, but he did score 2 touchdowns in the goal line. And the DK Metcalf for the Seahawks looked great. And here's the thing I don't like about Las Vegas. I know they won the game. Josh Jacobs led the team in receiving. 6 receptions for
No.
74 yards.
He's just a dog, man.
I know he is.
Was the offense.
You had
40 touches over 300 scrimmage yards. You gonna complain?
I mean, you have Devontae Adams out there as well. Come on,
he
man.
had 74 yards as well. He didn't have a bad game.
I know he didn't have a bad game, but man, you're relying on one. You have all those weapons. You're going one guy. That ain't
I don't know.
You're not going to sustain that.
Hey, that man had the hot hand, dude. He had the hot hand.
I get it. But listen, the only time that the Raiders are winning games is when Josh Jacobs going. If Josh Jacobs not going, that offense sucks. They are bad. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. It's just Jacobs is having a career year. Sometimes guys get hot. He's in a contract year and he's playing his tail off.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. I'm just saying the Raiders can't sustain that because if he
do we consider the Raiders a playoff team? They're just going for solid wins at this point, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's not something you can sustain. I mean,
the
playoff race isn't over yet. Well, for some it is, but not for everybody.
Definitely not. Yeah.
I mean, if this was a team like the Chiefs or the Bengals, to where you're like, it's really just one guy, then maybe long-term concerns there. But with the Raiders, it's fun, and all they're trying to do, I think, is just win these types of games.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
All I'm saying is this type of team relying on one guy, not going to be sustainable. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well,
especially with a head coach that has shown to have been incompetent.
Maybe this is good that Josh Jacobs was dominating like this, so the Raiders can fight tooth and nail to make sure he's a Raider moving forward, because it's not looking like he's going to be.
Yeah.
They didn't get his 5th-year option. So
yeah, but that was my game of the week.
It's because up to that point he hadn't really shown that he deserved the kind of money that it would take to give him that 5th-year option.
True. So this is like
this is his prove it year.
Yeah,
and he's proving it right now.
Yep. So that was my game of the week. Other scores on Thanksgiving in the middle of the day, it was the Cowboys taking down the Giants 28-20, another close game there. And then on Thursday Night Football, it was the Vikings getting the 33-26 win over the Patriots.
Great game.
Another great game on Thursday night. Then the Browns took down the Bucks in overtime 23-17. Jacoby Brissett and Nick Chubb led the Browns to the win.
Shout out Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, shout out Jacoby Brissett.
Let's stop here for a second. Did you see the post game?
Yeah, where he said, in the words of Tom Brady, that was awesome.
Yeah, because Tom had said that. What game did Tom say that after? The Rams game, I think.
Yeah, it was
the Rams game.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Brissett beating his former teammate. And that was the last start Jacoby Brissett's probably going to make this year, so it's been a hell of a season for Jacoby Brissett. He did a fine job.
Definitely deserves.
Will Jacoby Brissett be starting again by the end of the season?
Well,
barring injury, I don't think so. They have too much money.
Even if Deshaun played like garbage,
which I think is very possible.
I think it's going to happen.
Well, what if they lose to Houston? That would be hilarious. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get into the Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett talk. But Browns take down the Bucks in overtime. Bengals get the close one over the Titans and a really weird finish. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that call. The Titans, when they were trying to push through on that final field goal to make it a 7-point game, on a swing back, they hit the center, the snapper, in the back of the head. One of the defensive linemen. They called a penalty because the snapper is a defenseless player on a field goal, and it was a personal foul, 15 yards, automatic first down. Bengals kneeled it out, won it.
It's kind of weak sauce.
It was a awfully weak call, especially in that situation.
Like I know, but like you got to.
It's the letter of the law, right?
They
like
teach
you have to
that,
call it.
like as somebody who played O-line as a little kid, like they literally teach you that O-line, D-line, like don't hit the snapper, like in Little League.
Yeah,
like everybody knows that. You can't hit the snapper. It's like that at every level of football.
Yeah,
and they called it on the wrong guy. They called it on Kevin Strong.
Yeah.
I think that's what his name is.
Yeah.
But it was actually on Tyre Hart. And so Strong after the game was the one, like, media was going up because in the in the scorebooks he was the one that got called on. Even though he wasn't even the perpetrator. If you look on social media, everybody's like, cut him. That's elementary stuff. And it just sucks. It was a bad situation. Titans, the offense that looked so good just 2 weeks ago, just disappeared against the Bengals.
And T. Higgins learned from his Clemson teammate, or former Clemson Tiger, I should say, and DeAndre Hopkins, how to push off and get away with it, because that was a push off touchdown.
Straight up push off. All right, moving on. Dolphins dismantle the Texans 30-15. Jets take down the Bears in a blowout 31-10. That was just an awful game for the Bears. Commanders take down get the close one against the Falcons, who had a chance to win that game with a minute left, but an interception from Marcus Mariota that was tipped up and picked off sealed the game for the Commanders. Panthers take down the Broncos 23-10 in the return of Sam Darnold. That's going to be an interesting storyline going
Broncos
forward.
Are so bad.
The Jags obviously beat the Ravens. The Chiefs dismantled the Rams pretty easily. The Niners get the 13-point win over the Saints. And then Sunday Night Football, as you mentioned, the high-scoring game. Eagles take down the Packers 40-33, which is a really competitive game. And then on Monday night, it was the Steelers getting the 24-17 win over the Colts, another competitive game. So a lot of great games in Week 12. And with that, I ask you winners and losers for Week 12. Bryson, we'll start with you.
Okay, so for me, I'm going to start with my winner, and we're going to go back to this Chargers and Cardinals game. We already talked about it a little bit. I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. Like we said, there was really no run game in this game at all. 35 out of 47, 274 yards and 3 touchdowns. And yeah, I think that he just had a great game overall. Like we said, there wasn't a rushing attack. He had almost 40 yards on the ground as well, which he's definitely not a running quarterback. And he led the team in rushing as well as doing everything else that he did. And it was a game that the Chargers really needed to win. There's a huge difference between 6-5 and 5-6 in this situation. I feel like this late in the season, I feel like at 6-5, I think they should feel pretty good about their chances to get to the playoffs. I mean, just being a game over 500 versus a game under 500 is such a big deal at this point in the season. And I think that's why he's my winner of the week.
Yep. And your loser?
My loser is the Baltimore Ravens because they don't know how to close games. Like, just simply, they don't know how to close games. They've led by double digits in every single game that they've lost.
What is wrong with the Ravens?
Well, I guess you got to start with the defense. Like, the defense has been I mean, at the beginning of the season, I feel like it was the defense, but it goes like both ways because the defense has been put in some bad situations because Lamar has been careless with the ball late in games. So it's like he throws an interception and then the defense is back out there on a short field. Like, that's happened in multiple games, right? So it's hard. I think they need to take better care of the ball. They can't turn the ball over as much. I think that's the first problem. And then they're going to have to just play better on defense overall.
Yeah, this is a real issue. And you mentioned that was their 5th loss on the season. They're 7-5 now, I think.
Yeah, 7-4.
So all 4 of their losses have come via that. Yeah, they were up 35-14 Miami in the fourth quarter, 20-10 over the Giants, and then 19-10 over the Jags. All in the fourth quarter, they lose those games. And then, of course, they're blown out Buffalo at half and lost. But I think it comes down to they still cannot get healthy offensively. Rashad Bateman's out for the year. J.K. Dobbins hasn't been healthy. Gus Edwards has had injuries.
Mark Andrews has been out.
Yeah, Mark Andrews has had injuries. Even their backup receivers have had injuries. So, and now, like, their backup tight end this game was out. So it has been just a carousel of guys for this offense for Lamar Jackson. And he has not looked very good. Like, he's running the ball fine. But, you know, it's just hard for him to get in a rhythm with just a constant rotation like this. Yeah, so offensively, I think they're a bit bland. And defensively, yeah, they just can't close for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because like you look at it, like you talk about that Buffalo game. I mean, they held Buffalo, one of the higher powered offenses in the NFL, to 3 points in the first half. Like, so it's not like the defense can't do it. Like, they've shown that they can do it, and I think that's why it's so weird. Because even if you talk about the carousel, they've shown that they can get out to big leads even with the carousel of people coming in and out. But it's just like something about closing games. I will say, though, the fact that Deshaun Jackson is still catching deep balls like that at his age,
burning people at 35.
I'm like, dude, I feel like he's been doing that for like 15 years.
Yes.
Like, as long as I can remember, he has just been burning people like that.
And so the craziest thing about the Ravens, you mentioned that like their worst thing is that Lamar is like turning the ball over in crucial situations, trying to close the game out. They are second in the league in turnover differential. They're plus 8.
I think it's just
I don't know because Lamar's that is the issue. Lamar and Gus Edwards and whoever else, they're turning the ball over at crucial moments.
That's what I was about to say. It's like it's not that they're turning over the ball a lot. It's just whenever they need a play, you know, they need a first down to win it. They need to go down and get in the field goal range. That's when the turnover happens, and that's going to kill them. And that's how teams lose a lot of games.
So sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to move on.
Oh, no, I was going to ask a question. So are you more in the camp for the Ravens? Because they could easily be 11-0. Or more in the camp that, hey, they're so close to being so dominant? Or are you more in the camp of, man, this is a real concern and it's going to hinder them from making a playoff run?
I don't know if I'd say it's going to hinder them, but it is something that I would be worried about, because when you get into playoffs, that's what the playoffs are about, is closing games.
Yeah.
So I'm before I like, they've shown that they have the talent. They have the talent to do it. They can be one of the better teams in the NFL. There's no question about that at all. Mm-hmm. But they have to show that they can close games.
Yeah, I mean, that'll kill them in the playoffs. You're right. Jack, your winners and losers of the week.
Yeah, so kind of going with my game of the week, my winners of the week is Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. As I said, great team win. Doug Peterson winning the game on a coaching decision like that is just phenomenal. And, you know, everybody has been hating on Trevor Lawrence, especially after that London game. That, man, this guy's looking like a bust. I don't know if they can win games.
You want to name drop?
What, you guys, all three of you?
I haven't hated on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
whoa.
Especially Bryson.
Okay.
Everything you text is Trevor Lawrence is terrible. Riley at least gives him a little bit of credit. He's like, hey, some weeks he'll be great, some weeks he'll be bad. That is very true.
I sent our little group chat. It's like a little gif or a gif of a guy flipping a coin. And I said Trevor Lawrence deciding if he's going to be the best. The Trevor Lawrence,
if he's going to be
point
in my mindset.
See, this, all right, I'll say it. Trevor Lawrence had a good game this week. He had a great game. He's been playing good. I'll give him that. The thing that you're talking about that I was giving you a bunch of crap for was when he fumbled the ball like 5 times in one game.
Okay, yeah, we all remember
that's all I was talking about.
The Eagles.
No, but I was saying, here we go. Here come the excuses. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm just saying that Jack, when he sees Trevor Lawrence, he has the the Clemson-colored glasses on.
Yeah,
so he can't see if he messes up.
You're right.
Mixture of orange, white, teal, and black now, right? So
yeah.
I'll do that. But yeah, so the Jags, they're just a winner because they need wins like this. Trevor Lawrence needs wins like this because it's been so ugly for him, and really his rookie season shouldn't count in my book.
Yeah, with Urban Meyer being his head coach,
maybe the worst head coach in NFL history.
He got
the worst situation for a rookie quarterback. Like, I'll give you that worst situation for a quarterback.
It was not good.
He's still young and he's still developing, and all the talent in the world is there. And
I think he's going to be really good one day.
Yeah, but it's really just his mentals.
Yeah.
Like as Marshawn Lynch says, get your mentals right. That's what Trevor Lawrence has got to do. And he is progressing towards doing that. You haven't seen that video?
No, I have.
Got to get your mentals and get that bread.
Yeah. Who's your loser?
Greatest videos ever. My loser is Cliff Kingsbury.
Yes.
Because, we can trash on the Cardinals for a second because they lose that game and Kyler Murray goes in the post-game press conference and he goes, schematically, we were effed. And if your quarterback is saying schematically we were screwed like that, red alarm. Hit the panic button on Cliff Kingsbury's tenure in Arizona because this is going downhill fast. They're 4-8 with a lot of talent on the roster. He's been there. I think this is his 3rd year, and they were like 8-0 last year, and then get bounced in the wild card. Couldn't even win the division down the stretch. Everything is pointing in the direction that Cliff Kingsbury's time is drawing nigh.
I want to put a little emphasis of that loser on Kyler Murray as well.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Kyler Murray guy at all.
He is playing awful. He cries, complains, and blames everyone else.
Yes.
He's a child.
He is a child.
He's a literal child. I don't know if you remember. It was a couple weeks ago. It was one of the DeAndre Hopkins games. He went up to DeAndre Hopkins was trying to talk to him, and Kyler Murray was just walking away. Wouldn't even look at him. And then he went up to Cliff and was like complaining to Cliff. And then Cliff said something and then he was walking away. DeAndre Hopkins was trying to get in front of him, trying to get in his face and be like, Kyler, listen, come on, talk to me, man. And he just acted like a child and walked away, stormed off like a kid.
Not coachable.
He's not mature, and he's clearly showing it this season.
As bad as Kyler is, you can't bail out Cliff on that because he's got to get him under control.
No,
he cannot let Kyler dictate
Cliff.
the situation.
I'm not bailing on Cliff. I'm just saying
be
that relationship, that gelling right there between head coach and quarterback, especially an offensive head coach and quarterback, it's not there right now. And when that's not there, your team is not going to win, as you can see by the Cardinals. So I'm just adding on to your loser of Cliff Kingsbury, and I'm adding Kyler Murray there because he's a crybaby.
No, I'm far from a Kyler Murray fan, but they paid the guy, and with Cliff Kingsbury, it just looks like he's kind of letting Kyler run it, and he's not running it.
And that's why
he literally let him call plays.
And they scored a touchdown. See that? I don't think that helped.
The thing is Kyler and that offense actually played pretty well against the Chargers.
You know what?
They still lost.
It's funny. Yeah. It's like it's his dad. and his dad's just trying to teach him a lesson. Like
Wait,
like Cliff Kingsbury is acting like Kyler's dad. Like the whole, hey, fine, you do it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's out there like, fine, you think you're so grown, you think you're such an adult, you can run this, go ahead. And he just it's bad for an NFL team to be run like that. And unfortunately, the Cardinals right now, that's how they're being run.
It does feel like there's two personalities on that team, Cliff and Kyler, and everybody, the other,
and then, no, there's 3
people.
No, I would say 3 because I'm saying Cliff and Kyler are by themselves, and then everybody else just like, can we just play football?
That's what I was about to say. The other 51 people in the locker room are like,
where's the football? Can we just play some football?
You remember the Thursday nighter when Dalton threw the 2 pick sixes? We were editing together, and and Kyler and Cliff had gotten that spat on the sideline where they're yelling, and Hopkins is like, "Bro, y'all chill out."
I think that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Come on now, like, why is this happening?
I don't know.
Yeah,
and they were winning that game.
It looks unprofessional.
They actually kind of blew the Saints out. It was
you're about 2 touchdowns. Y'all are freaking arguing.
Dysfunction in the desert, man. This has got to be fixed.
Yeah,
dysfunction in the desert. I like that.
Riley, your winners and losers for the week.
Yeah, so for my winner, I'm gonna go with Kenny Pickett. What a game from him. What a game from the rookie. Like, I was shocked. I didn't think he had this type of performance in him.
Wait, hold up, Riley. So you're saying I owe you an apology? I wasn't familiar with your game. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, I feel like Shaq right now. I feel like Shaq right now. But yeah, he goes out there and he gets it done against Indy, against the Colts, who have a pretty decent defense. And so yeah, 20 of 28, 174 yards, 71.4% completion, average 6.2 yards per completion. I don't know if that's completion or
I think it's attempt.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that makes more sense. That math adds up there, but yeah, didn't throw for a touchdown, or also didn't throw for an interception. Had a 35-yard pass, took a couple of sacks, yada yada. It wasn't perfect, but he got the job done, and that's the first performance from him where I've really felt like this guy looks like he could be a franchise guy.
Yeah, and listen, to be fair, look, the passing stats aren't eye-popping. They're not out there saying, "Oh, this guy's." But look, he's throwing to Walmart employees out there. George Pickens is probably his best wide receiver, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson,
NFL young boy.
Deontay Johnson can't get open.
Yeah.
And he's got nobody else. I mean,
I like
Frymouth. Yeah,
he's a good tight end one.
I mean, but tight end one, he's not Travis Kelce tight end.
Well, no,
he's not going to go out there. I'm saying he's not going to go out there.
Oh, he's not a Michael Jordan. He's not a Lawrence Taylor.
I'm saying he's not going to go out there and he's not going to go out there and inflate his passing stats. He's down there. True. He's down there to be a blocking tight end and some short yardage routes. And
we'll say this: be a little he's not T.J. Hawkinson.
That's what I'm saying. But listen. Even though the stats aren't eye popping, he's not. After that 3 interception game against Miami, where he cost them that game, they could have easily won that game, but he cost them that game. He hasn't put them in situations to lose. He's been smart with his legs. He hasn't been eye-popping on the rushing, but he's been smart. He's ran when he's needed to. I saw it against Indy last night. And
last week the game against Cincy, I mean, he had a decent game. Again, wasn't perfect, but you're starting to see growth from him. You're starting to see it's becoming a little more consistent. He's getting better. He's getting more comfortable in the NFL, in the offense that he's playing in. It looks better and better for Kenny Pickett. Steelers fans should be very, very happy because
get him some weapons.
I saw somebody had a tweet or something.
What do you mean? What?
Sorry, let Riley tell us that.
Yeah, I saw a tweet or something. It was like Steelers fans shouldn't be, or Steelers fans should be really happy, not because of this win, because it doesn't really matter, but because Kenny Pickett finally looks like he's coming into his own.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest takeaway from this game. Yeah, win over Indy, whatever. Jeff Saturday, okay, but
no, it's a good win on the road in primetime.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very big.
It lights are bright.
Good experience.
Kenny Pickett gets it done.
And only dim-sighted NFL watchers will see those stats and be like, "Oh, Kenny Pickett's not good." Like if you watch the game, he's getting the job done, as Riley had said.
And then once he gets to those like red zone situations, they start handing the ball off. That's why he didn't have the touchdowns. That's the only thing missing from that stat sheet.
Definitely. And I feel like as a rookie, you're not necessarily asked to go out there and not everybody's going to be like Patrick Mahomes. So I know he's set for a year, but nobody's going to come out in their first game and throw 6 touchdowns, stuff like that. As a rookie, you're just asked to make like the easy reads, make the right decisions with the ball. Don't turn the ball over and give the team a chance to win the game. And that's what he did.
We can agree that if you put Kenny Pickett in last year, his class, he would have been the best rookie if you take the quarterbacks in 21 classes performances last year, Pickett would have been first as far as how he's done.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
But what you were saying about Pittsburgh having no one, I mean, they're not that good, but like to me, George Pickens is looking like a true wide receiver one. The catches he makes
Pickens
are
looks great,
very
but
impressive.
He is a rookie.
He's a rookie, but the catches he is making look great.
Yeah.
You gotta get his temper a little under control. Like last week against the Bengals was a couple moments, but if Najee Harris is what Najee Harris is supposed to be, they can bolster the O-line a little bit. I think he's a fine NFL running back, and then they got a really good tight end, I think, in Pat Freiermuth. So a good possession guy in Deontay Johnson. The Steelers' offense is not putrid.
I'm not saying it's putrid. I'm just saying get him a playmaker. They don't have George Pickens is a playmaker, but they don't have a guy who's going to go out there and be super exciting. He's not going to break tackles and run for 60-yard touchdowns. Like you don't have George Pickens do out there, but again, he's a rookie. You need to add on to that. You can't just say, okay, this is good enough. You got to get him some more weapons.
Yeah,
and a better game.
And you got to get him a better offensive line.
Offensive line, and I think that's part of the reason why the run game hasn't been good either. I think that's another reason.
I don't know. Najee's been pretty bad.
And I mean, it's also,
he's been good these last 2 weeks. He got hurt. He got hurt.
Last 2 weeks, he's looked good.
He got injured, but
before that, he had looked.
Who is your loser for the week?
Yeah, for the loser, I'm gonna go with the Saints offense. 0 points, laid an egg against the Niners. Niners are a good team, great defense. Laid an egg.
You should never put 0 points up in an NFL game. I don't care.
This is an NFL game. Andy Dalton didn't even have a bad game.
Especially after you put up 27 the week before against the Rams, which I know they're not great, but at least their defense isn't awful.
Right.
You got to come back and do better. But yeah.
Andy Dalton didn't even have a terrible game. He was 18 of 29 for 204. Again, just couldn't get any touchdowns, no interceptions. But it's like once they got in the red zone, it's just all the offense evaporated.
Yep.
And they couldn't get it done. Andy Dalton was their leading rusher. Another quarterback leading the team in rushing.
Kamara had 2 fumbles. He had a bad game.
7 carries, 13 yards. Yeah,
one of them was like right in the red zone too.
Right at the goal line.
Yeah, right at the goal line.
First time the Saints have been shut out in a regular season game since 2002. 20 years. Not good, Bob.
Jeez, Riley wasn't even here yet.
He wasn't.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I was not born. 03.
This is the first Saints shutout you've ever witnessed in the
October 03.
Hey, we got to throw a party for Riley. First ever
shutout. Yeah.
But no,
I was in a crib somewhere. It was on the TV. I saw it.
No, bro, I remember that game. LeBron James. I remember that game.
I was there. I went to the game.
I was a year and 6 months old. I was there.
I remember it like it was yesterday. But no, my winner for the week, I'm going to go over to Green Bay. It is Jordan Love, the backup for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers goes out in that Sunday night football game and with I think it was some kind of.
Was it with his thumb?
He has a broken thumb.
He's playing
hit in the midsection. Had that oblique injury.
It was like an oblique.
That's what he suffered it during the game.
But because he took his pads off and he just left, and Jordan Love had to finish out the game. But Jordan Love, man, came in and looked.
He was balling.
Looked like a first round quarterback. 6 of 9, 113 yards, a touchdown. Had that big crosser to Christian Watson, who took it for the score. And Jordan Love, we saw when he came in last year when he had to come in, looked really bad. I think it was the game against the Chiefs that they could have won that game because the Chief offense was playing terrible.
They had a chance, but he couldn't get it done. I mean, that's true.
Jordan Love looked bad that game. He comes in this game and he immediately keeps Green Bay in that game. He makes it a 1-score game, and then he gets another chance to go. Unfortunately, Green Bay wasn't able to tie the game. The defense wasn't able to stop the Eagles either. But Jordan Love, 6 of 913 yards, a touchdown, looked really impressive. I really was really impressed by Jordan Love.
I'm gonna say this right now. It would be better for the Packers now to start Jordan Love for the rest of the season
and just see what you got.
I think it will be better.
Why not? Dude, you're out of the playoffs.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
No. Well,
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be back. I mean, and keep in mind, Aaron Rodgers said today that he's going to be playing. He's going to come back.
And Matt LaFleur said if he can play, he's playing.
Yeah.
They're not going to turn away from Aaron Rodgers. I don't care how beat up battered he is. He's going to go out there.
It's a ballsy move, Bryson, but I think that's what they should do.
Like if you're looking at this like because you got to think this is probably going to be Aaron Rodgers last year with the Packers, whether he retires or whether he's going to try to go somewhere else. Because he only signed. How long was the deal that he signed?
I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers. It was like 4. I think it was like 4 years.
I don't know. Like I know it's difficult, but I just feel like it would be good for them to figure it out. And then even if it is like just to see if they want to keep Rodgers or if they want to try to trade him.
3 years, $150 million on March 14th of this year.
So he has 2 years left.
He got $101 million in full guarantees and $150.66 million in injury guarantees. So he gets $150 if he gets injured.
I'm sure he's got.
Guess what he is?
He can be traded.
Injured.
I'm sure somebody would trade for him.
Who?
Who?
Indy.
Somebody. I mean,
the
no.
Jets.
What I'm
The
saying
Jets.
is,
Wow, the Colts going after another
The Jets.
35-year-old.
But
No, that would ruin the theory.
there is a clear difference.
So
There is a clear difference between Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Jacoby Brissett,
and Aaron
and
Rodgers.
Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Hey, you want to hear something funny, Bryson, to kind of prove both of y'all's points? Almost exactly 15 years ago, November 29th, 2007, Aaron Rodgers replaced an injured Brett Favre in Dallas, set the stage for the transition after the season. Jordan Love replaced Aaron Rodgers on Sunday night in Philly and promptly threw a 60-yard catch and run TD. Fantastic tweet by Tom Pelissero. So are we seeing it happen again?
Well, you knew it was going to
History
happen soon.
repeating
It was going to
itself?
have to happen soon. Like we knew it was going to happen.
It's
in the
kind
next
of
couple
crazy
years.
that it happened almost in the same way. If this
That is-
comes to manifest,
Yeah,
with
that
Love.
is true. And that's what I'll say is that I think it's mostly because if you're out of the playoff race, there's no reason to have Aaron Rodgers out there.
Can I give a rapid, quick Aaron Rodgers prediction for the rest of his career?
What's up?
Next year, he goes to the Jets. He plays all right. Only 1 year he spends in New York. Then he goes to the Vikings, and he plays there for like 3 or 4 years. He almost makes it to a Super Bowl one of those years, and then he retires.
Oh, okay, yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Wait, that kind of sounds. That kind
happening.
of sounds familiar.
That sounds familiar.
Wait, that kind of sounds like
Did you
something
get
that
it,
already
Joseph?
happened.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But that's not happening.
Obviously not. I was making a joke.
But hey, Aaron Rodgers went on the I want to say it was the Pat McAfee show and was like very complimentary of Jordan Love, saying he felt like a big brother watching his little brother go out
Oh,
sure
way to
he
save
did.
face,
Oh,
Aaron
cap.
Rodgers.
there. Yeah, right.
Way to save face.
But at least it looked like Aaron Rodgers was happy for him. So
Yeah,
I
it looked like
yeah,
it.
right.
But yeah, that's my winner for the week, Jordan Love. Very impressed with you coming in, especially in a game that you did not think you were going to touch the field, especially considering Aaron Rodgers has been playing with a broken thumb and still not decided to come out. So good for you, Jordan Love. My loser for the week, we're going to turn to Monday Night Football. I'm going to go the opposite of what Riley did. I'm going to go Jeff Saturday for the god-awful clock management or whatever the hell I witnessed in that game on Monday night. I mean, it was just awful. Colts with a chance to go down and tie the game at 24. Matt Ryan driving actually looked pretty decent on the drive. Gets a big run to make it I think it was a 3rd and short, I believe. And then he slides down. 59 seconds on the clock. They have all 3 timeouts. Jeff Saturday does not call one. They line up. They take like 20 seconds to line up, and then they proceed to hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor on 3rd and short for a 5-yard loss. He goes down. Then they call the timeout with like 28 seconds left in that game. What the hell are you doing, Jeff Saturday?
So bad.
You had
No.
3 timeouts with a minute left on the 50-yard line. I think they were actually just past the 50 or they were getting just past the 50-yard line. And you don't call a timeout if your quarterback just ran? What are you doing? Now you're expecting the entire offense, including all the wide receivers that you sent downfield, to run back, line up, and then you make the decision to not throw the ball, but to hand it off. What are you doing, dude?
Like,
holy crap.
This is what I said. This is what I told. Like, we cannot continue to allow NFL coaches to have worse clock management than 8-year-olds on Madden. We can't. You know, Nathaniel Hackett already did it earlier this year.
It was,
and now we have Jeff Saturday.
There's been others, and it's so funny that it happened to Jeff Saturday because he's been an ESPN analyst last couple of years. Well, last year, a little over a year ago, before they were going to go and get up the morning after, I would assume Sunday or Monday, he said, "We talking clock management in the morning." Again, and it's like, okay, buddy, fast forward. So now you're a head coach. How's it feel? You can't coach when you're getting in the tight at the end of a game like that and the game's on the line. You mess up. Listen, it's easy to forget how to
this
think
is another
right.
question. This is another question though. So do you think there's anything on Matt Ryan for not just being like, forget it, like, nah, timeout? Because like, dude, he's a veteran.
Yes,
No,
but like,
yeah,
come on,
I
you're
know.
the head coach.
No,
Like, it's ultimately on that.
Yes,
It's ultimately
Matt
on
Ryan-
the head coach, but I feel like at some point, especially when you're trying to get everybody lined up, at some point you're gonna be like, man, timeout. Like
Matt Ryan should have called the timeout as soon as he hit that slide. He should have been timeout as soon as he was breaking into that slide because you got to have better awareness than that. But Jeff Saturday, Jack's right. Jeff Saturday's the head
number
coach.
one. It's number one on Jeff Saturday, but I think at a lower level, Matt Ryan should have just
anybody on that offense could have called a timeout.
No, especially when it gets to like Saturday, 10, 15 seconds. Like, dude,
think about it. You see Matt Ryan run for over 10 yards. You're like, whoa, what just happened? I just saw a unicorn. Like, I can't even think right now. That's so rare. They're probably all in awe. Matt Ryan didn't even know what he did.
Matt Ryan was probably like, why did I have a 40-yard lane to run? Like, why?
Yeah,
and then they just forgot how to coach and
But listen, Jeff Saturday, listen, you're a player's coach. The guys clearly want to play with you. The Colts have looked so much better since you've taken over, and I give you credit to that. You did a good job in putting Matt Ryan back in the starting role because Sam Ehlinger wasn't it, and it was clear that the Colts were tanking. And I got to give you credit. You turned at least the mindset in there around. But guess what? The big criticism was that you had zero experience, and it's showing. You can't talk all this crap about, hey, who cares about experience? Jim Irsay, who cares about experience? And then go out and do something boneheaded like that, like an unexperienced coach would.
They could have won that game.
It's so bad.
So bad.
So easily.
You could have taken that to over. You could have taken that to overtime and had a chance to win that game. Loser.
Yeah,
that's
and he
loser.
At least he admitted it. I think if I remember correctly, Hackett didn't own up to it.
No, Hackett didn't own up to it at
all. But
Saturday
was like, I should have called it timeout. So at least he did that.
Still a loser.
Still a loser, definitely.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, anybody who knows anything about football could have told you he called a timeout. So I'm glad he is self-reflective.
Moving on real quick, we'll get our final segment to recap Week 12, and that is our Dogs of the Week. Who stood out to you as the best player of the week? Bryson?
Well, I mean, it's not just because he's on two of my fantasy teams, because I know nobody cares about my fantasy team, but it's Josh Jacobs. 303 total yards and 2 touchdowns, including an 80-yard game winner. Yep. Like, what more could you ask for the dog of the week?
Yeah.
I don't think, like, a game-winning touchdown, you lead the team in rushing and receiving. The only reason he didn't lead the team in passing is because he's not a quarterback. I bet he could have done that, too.
Probably could.
He was on fire.
Yep.
So, dog of the week, Josh Jacobs. Shout out to that man.
Dog. Jack, your dog of the week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it's a game we haven't talked about a lot so far. I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson in the Vikings-Patriots game because this game was really close from start to finish, and Justin Jefferson made some awesome catches in traffic.
When doesn't he?
Like Kirk Cousins underthrowing some passes here and there, but there was like 3 or 4.
Kirk. We did get primetime Kirk. He wasn't.
I don't know if that.
Game.
I mean,
in
the first half.
I'll say he didn't live up to the status of primetime Kirk.
300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He just wasn't. He had like a game manager.
Oh, let's not forget Justin Jefferson had a pass completion.
Yeah, and he threw a pass. And he had a touchdown on the first drive. Dude, he was taking hits after hit. Like 3 or 4 of his 9 catches were just like, I'm about to get killed, but I'm going to catch this ball anyway. Most receivers aren't making those catches. I don't know if any other receivers are making some of those catches. Absolutely another incredible performance by Justin Jefferson. Definitely better than whatever Tyreek Hill did on Sunday. Yeah.
Wow.
Best wide receiver in the league.
Against the Patriots, might I add.
Dog.
Tyreek Hill catching strays?
Tyreek Hill is your dog? When did you change?
Riley, dog of the week. Go.
All right, my dog of the week, I'm going with Mike White. New York Jets legend Mike White coming in there. Zach Wilson benched. Mike White walks in there and says, "This is my team." 22 of 28, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns. Mike White. Dog.
Well, you know what Robert Saleh said? He said he made the easy look easy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, so he's basically saying, hey, it's easy to play quarterback for us.
Hey.
And Mike White made that look easy. Zach Wilson, you could do anything, buddy.
Dude,
worst quarterback in the league.
They zoomed in on Zach Wilson on the sideline, not dressed out, sitting in the back, not talking to anybody.
Hood up.
He didn't have a hood up. I don't think he had his hood up. But
he's not hurt, right?
It's like a hoodie hood.
No, he's not hurt. He just sucks.
So he's not he's not even dressed out.
They didn't even dress him out.
I didn't realize he was.
Joe Flacco was QB2.
That's hilarious.
Your number 2 overall pick got benched to 3rd string and didn't even dress out.
And honestly,
that's how bad he was.
It does look like the Jets are good enough to go to the playoffs, and if they just have a competent QB, they'll make it.
Yeah.
So Is Mike White good?
I mean, they put up
we'll
31
talk about it
points.
but listen.
Well, and now's your time.
I was going to do it when we preview the game, but you know what? Screw it. I'll leave it now.
I mean,
okay,
we're almost done. Yeah.
Last year, the same situation happened. The Jets, I think it was Zach Wilson, went out with an injury.
Yes, he was hurt.
Went out with an injury, and he got injured. Mike White came in and proceeded to throw for 405 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Bengals in a 34-31 win. What happened after that? Well, his next 2 games were losses, where he threw for 95 yards and just 1 touchdown, and then for 250 yards, but 4 interceptions.
That is why it's dog of the week and not dog of the month.
Mike White is that quarterback that's going to come in and be like, boom, gotcha, and then he's just going to stop.
Dude, Mike White is him for 1 week.
Plus, let's not act like he was playing against the 85 Bears. It's the 2022 Bears, and they're terrible.
I know.
They're terrible.
So do you think it's going to happen again?
Do I think he's going to
shot now?
Do I think he's going to fall off?
Yeah.
The Jets aren't winning.
No. Hold up. Mike White, he gives me Ryan Fitzpatrick energy. Remember, like the first 3 weeks of the season, Ryan.
Instead of multiple games,
it's not multiple games. It's one game.
It's one game.
But you remember how Ryan Fitzpatrick, through week 6 of every single year of his career, they were like, "Is Ryan Fitzpatrick in the MVP conversation?" And then next thing you know, he's thrown 15 interceptions by the end of the year.
Yeah,
no,
every year.
I'm not saying that Mike White is going to be awesome rest of the year, but I'm saying I think he can lead them to the postseason because it's easy.
He might be able to get them there, but they ain't touching anything in the playoffs. He's not a playoff quarterback.
Okay, and
I agree.
No, it doesn't matter if he's a playoff quarterback. The question is he better than Zach Wilson?
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
But Zach Wilson's not a playoff quarterback
either.
That's a
low bar. That is a low bar.
But all right.
I understand he might not be a playoff quarterback, but
okay,
if he's better than Zach Wilson,
will we ever see Zach Wilson start? This is so
starting. I was thinking about
an NFL game barring injury again.
I was thinking about this. Because I was going to ask this question too. I don't think Zach Wilson will ever be a full-time starter,
like a guy,
a full-time starter again in the NFL.
So you think this is the Baker Mayfield? This is where he gets benched and then he's going to get traded and he's going to be in and out of all that.
This is the start of a long and miserable backup career for Zach Wilson.
I don't know if I'm ready to say that. I'm not necessarily ready to say that.
He will be a backup for the Jets next year unless they trade him, which is very likely that they could trade him. I don't know where to. I don't know who it. Maybe the Colts. Maybe the Colts will make a stupid decision and try to go after a young quarterback for once that sucks. Maybe. I don't know. But he will not be a full-time starter or at least a good full-time starter for the rest of the team. I don't think.
I don't even know if he'll be because Baker entering the season, he was the guy. I don't know if that'll ever be Zach Wilson.
No, easy.
Unless he goes to a team like the Colts, that's not going to have a quarterback.
But the Jets don't have anybody.
It's so easy.
The Jets
just trade Zach Wilson to the Seahawks and trade Geno Smith to the Jets. Everything's
Seahawks ain't doing that. Pete Carroll ain't.
Geno ain't gonna do that.
Pete Carroll's not doing that.
Back to the Jets.
Geno would say
to save the Jets.
Geno would be like, Pete, don't do it to me, please.
Geno's probably easy as hell to coach, and he's great in the locker room, and that's why they're succeeding. I'm sure Zach Wilson is the total opposite of that.
Oh, yes, dude, no, he
100%.
seems like. Well, okay, so when they benched him, he went up to Robert Saleh. I think I said this last week. He went up to Robert Saleh and said, "Why me? I want to play."
Wait, what? No.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. They reported. I swear to God.
Wait. Okay.
He said.
How did that even get out?
He said, "Why me? I just want to play."
How did that even get out?
I don't know, but I swear someone reported that.
That's terrible.
And it just he seems like Kyler and a little bit of a child. He's not mature enough for the NFL yet.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
We got 2 babies this week. Kyler.
Yeah, baby. Who's your baby of the week? Kyler Murray or Zach Wilson? You just get the flip-floppy all week. All right.
Hey, there is a report right now. Jets have full intent to get Wilson ready to play football again. So maybe we'll see it. I don't know.
I think he'll start again. I'm not ready to say that he's never going to start again because he's still very young.
But barring it, why would
they would be dumb to put him back in? That's all I'm going to say this week. Or that's all I'm going to say. They're dumb to put him back in. He's not a winning quarterback.
Hold up. We are talking about the New York Jets, right?
Yeah, but they got a good coach.
Robert Saleh isn't stupid.
That's true.
He isn't stupid. Yeah. He's not going to.
So what if they get blasted by Minnesota and Buffalo next 2 weeks? I could see it happening. Or maybe they go to Flacco. If they play at least one of them tight,
Go to Flacco.
Like, I don't see why they.
I would rather go to Flacco than back to Wilson first.
I would too.
I would rather.
I would have rather gone to Flacco to begin with.
I would have too. Other than Mike White, yeah, that was my prediction that Flacco was going to start. Then they made it Mike White, and I was like, well, why?
It's Mike White season. We're here. We better enjoy
Mike White weeks. It's going to last for all of 1 week. All right, my dog of the week. We're going to go to Sunday Night Football and MVP candidate Jalen Hurts. This man was insane. I think in the first quarter he ran for like 100 yards, 150 yards,
over 100, yeah,
over 100 yards, over 100 passing yards in the first quarter of that game. Looked insanely good. He ended up with 154 yards on the ground, a couple touchdowns through the air as well. Just an insane game from Jalen Hurts against the Packers, whose rush defense is god awful. Jesus Christ. Green Bay.
Crap. I meant to have the stat ready, but the duo of quarterback running back Hurts and Sanders is the most yards by a duo since like at least 15 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So
153 through the air, 157 on the ground, and Miles Sanders had 143. So my dog of the week, Jalen Hurts, just balling out on Sunday night.
It was the first duo in Eagles history.
Yeah, to have 140 plus yards.
Yeah.
So
shout out Jalen Hurts, man. That man's been playing great all season. He just gets better every year. He's going to continue to do it.
It's been 2 years.
It's gotten better every year.
Okay. No. Hold up. I'm talking about. Let me be clear. I'm talking about going all the way back to since he's gotten.
Since Alabama.
Since he got benched in the national championship game, he's getting better every year.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
That's like 4 years, Joseph. That's it's a little bit of time.
I give you that.
Isn't it funny that Hurts is looking like the best of those three? Tua, J-Mac, where it was Tua, Jalen, and Mac.
And then
looks like Hurts is the best NFL guy.
Hurts was the one that left. So yeah. All right, that was our week 12 recap, and with that, let's move into week 13 as we get ready to look at our locks and our picks. We'll start with the pick'em records this week. Jack won the week, going 12-4. It's his first solo win of the year, so everybody give it up for Jack.
Thank you, Jags.
Jack and or Riley and Bryson, they tied out at what'd you guys go?
What, 11-5?
11-5. And
I'll take it.
I was in last place at 8-8 this week. So right now the leaderboards are myself at 93-64-1, Bryson at 93-64-1, Riley at 93-64-1, and Jack at 89-68-1.
We got a three-way tie for first place.
Three-way tie for first place.
And then it's just you.
Very close.
And I'm glad I'm not tied for first. I like being down. I'm an underdog, baby.
Couldn't be me.
Let's rip.
Let's get into these games and make our picks for week 13. We're going to start with Thursday night football this week as we go all the way to New England for a Bills-Patriots showdown and a divisional game on Prime Video.
Have they played yet this year?
I don't think so.
No, they haven't
Off
played.
the top of my head.
This is their first.
Because they play again at the last game of the season.
Yeah,
remember the last meeting between these two teams in Buffalo?
Oh my God!
Wild card round, the absolute mauling that the Bills put on the Patriots.
Dude, they had two really weird games last year. Do you not remember the Mac Jones 2 passing attempt game?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Weird.
Yeah, remember this game?
Yeah, the 47-17.
That was
really
weird.
By Allen.
Yeah, really weird games between these two. But who you guys got on Thursday night? We'll start with Bryson.
Okay, I've had a tough.
No.
I was thinking about it, but I'm gonna go with the Bills. I'm just gonna do it. It makes the most sense. They're the better team, but there's something about like the way that the Bills have been playing the last couple of weeks, and the fact that they're going against Bill Belichick does scare me a little bit. But the Bills should win this game.
They should. I'm going to go with Buffalo, too. I think Allen knows and Diggs and all those guys know that they have to improve, and they've had a full week. Patriots have, too, but I'm going to take the Bills on the road regardless. Improved to 9-3.
Bills got some extra rest. Oh, actually, they both got extra rest after playing last Thursday.
Not really.
Maybe not.
1 week.
Wow, back-to-back Thursday night or Thursday games
fair.
For the Bills and the Patriots. I'm going to go Bills, too. I don't believe in Mac Jones. I never have, never will.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not too far-fetched to say. But Buffalo's looking as, vulnerable as ever right now. They're still going to beat New England.
Thought he was gonna do it. So what is
He
it?
never does it.
That's
He
a sweep.
Did it one
right.
time.
Let's go to Sunday football. Not Sunday night yet. As we start off with Steelers and the Falcons in Atlanta. Falcons coming off that close one. Steelers coming off a good Monday night game. Bryson, who you got?
I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons in this game. They're at home. I think that the Steelers did look good last week. I don't know if they're going to necessarily carry that over. The Falcons really could have won their game this week if it wasn't for a last-second tipped interception. I think they're going to have a bounce-back game. I mean, you look at them, they're 5-7. They've kind of been back and forth all season. They lost last week. I think they're going to get it done this week. So give me the Falcons and Marcus Mariota.
No.
All right.
So you're going Steelers?
Yeah. I'm taking the Steelers. Hey,
No.
Vegas. Hey, remember that tip I told you about Vegas Lions? Steelers are a 1-point favorite.
Hey, you know how many times you've won when saying that? Like once.
It's bull crap. I'm like 60%
Twice.
probably.
Okay, twice.
You guys don't even know. You're just saying numbers.
It hasn't been a lot.
I can think of twice off the top of my head that it's worked off.
I don't. Dude, I say this on Tuesday and then I forget I said it. But no, I am going to take the Steelers. I think the defense matches up really well with how Atlanta plays. Pittsburgh can get beat deep on the back end. Atlanta doesn't do that. They just run the ball. I feel like the Steelers will limit them pretty well and win this game. Kenny Pickett keeps rolling. They get the win on the road.
The Falcons are 4-2 at home. Marcus Mariota close to leading that game winning drive, I guess it would have been game-winning drive against the Commanders. They're still in the division race after the Bucs lost. Give me Marcus Mariota on a bounce-back game over the Steelers. I think I think they're going to get this win.
Yeah, this is probably one of the hardest games for me to pick this week because Kenny Pickett's on a roll. Atlanta's defense is not great, but Atlanta, like we were saying last week, they play this gritty, down to the wire type of football every week. So I'm gonna say they win out on this one. They've got like this weird thing going on where they like lose one, win one, lose one, lose, win, lose.
Let's see, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose.
I'm lost.
Yeah, I feel like they're due for a win, so I'm going to go with Atlanta.
All right, moving on. Next game, it's another divisional game. It's the Packers heading to Chicago to take on the Bears, and I'm not sure if Justin Fields will be back for this game, but I do know Aaron Rodgers will be.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers. I'm not going to overthink this one.
Who owns the Bears?
Aaron Rodgers does own the Bears. He owns a 25% stake, to be exact.
Give me GB. Even though they suck, they will not lose to the Bears. That is just something Aaron Rodgers doesn't do. If he starts, they win.
The Packers rush defense is god freaking awful. If Justin Fields plays in this game, he's rushing for 200 yards.
Wow, that is bold.
Hey, but guess what? He dang near rushed for 200 yards a couple weeks ago when they lost.
True. That's why I'm going the Packers. But expect Justin Fields to have a big game if he plays. Give me the Packers.
Make it a sweep for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers right now it doesn't look like Justin Fields is going to play.
The Packers are 1-5 on the road.
Jeez.
That is bad.
Yeah, but it's the Bears and it's the Packers.
All right, moving on. It's the Jaguars and the Lions. Two of those teams that are like fringy teams where they suck, but they're good at times.
Yeah, this is a tough game to pick.
Bryson, who are you going?
I don't know. Did you say Jaguars, Lions?
Yeah.
Jaguars.
On the road?
Yeah, Jaguars on the road. Let's go Trevor Lawrence. Come on. Come on, Trevor. I know you want to put your faith in Trevor, Jack.
I do. But my gut tells me Detroit. Did I sacrifice my record to pick who I like here?
We do
Joseph, go first. Go first. Let me think on it.
We do it just about every week with the Titans.
There doesn't have to be a succinct order. Come on.
Give me the Lions at home. They lost at Ford Field after the Bills made it their home for 2 weeks. They're not going to do it again. Give me the Lions. Jacksonville's -1 if that helps.
It helps for picking Jags. Riley?
Bryson all year has been really good at picking these weird games where it's like, I don't know who's going to win. I'm rolling with Bryson. I'm going to say Jacksonville takes this one.
Me too.
I like Jacksonville's defense enough, so.
Duval. Let's go. Lone Wolf Joseph.
I'll take it. Give me the Lions. That's kind of nervous that I'm taking the Lions as my lone wolf, but whatever. All right, moving on to the 1:00 game. It's the Jets versus the Vikings, and it's Mike White versus Kirk Cousins. Yay! Fun quarterback matchup. Bryson, who you got?
Like I said, I'm trying not to overthink them this week. I'm gonna take the Vikings. The Vikings are at home. They looked good last week. Justin Jefferson might have 200 yards. I don't know. Justin Jefferson versus Sauce Gardner, though.
That's gonna be a good matchup.
That might be interesting. That could be cool.
TJ Hawkinson been balling for the Vikings.
Oh yes, he has.
Adam Thielen over the last couple of weeks been balling for the Vikings. Dalvin Cook over the last couple of weeks been balling for the Vikings.
And even Kirk Cousins.
Even Kirk Cousins going a little balling for the Vikings.
And he's also been balling on the airplane too after the games.
Yep. Where you going, Jack?
Oh yeah, I'm going Minnesota all the way.
I already said it. Mike White's going to have a terrible game. Give me the Vikings.
No, look. So you remember how we said, like, Mike White had those 3 games, one of them where he had, like, 95 passing yards, the other one where he had, like, 200 but 4 interceptions?
Yeah.
This is going to be the 204 interception game.
Probably.
This is because
Patrick Peterson is getting a pick.
I don't like Mike White trying to throw against Patrick Peterson. So I'm going Minnesota all the way. That's a sweep.
Moving on, we got Commanders at the Giants. Commanders have won 6 of their last 7 with Taylor Heineke at the helm. They take on a Giants team that has dropped their last 2, I believe. They have a 2-game losing streak, which they haven't had all year. Who you guys got, Bryson?
The Commanders, like you said, won 6 out of their last 7 games. They've been on a hot streak, and I think it's going to continue. I think they found something good. Chase Young is coming back, everything like that. The Giants, I feel like they've had some tough injuries. I mean,
awful for the offense.
Yeah, and also then Adoree Jackson too on defense. So like they've had some injuries. I think that's one of the reasons why they've been losing some of these games. And I think the Commanders have just so much confidence right now. And yeah, give me the Commanders in this game.
Check.
Yeah, I'm going Washington. I have to go with what I said last week. Although I was kind of impressed by the way the Giants fought a little tough with Dallas. Give me Washington.
I'm going Washington. The injuries are just too much for the Giants, in my opinion. Daniel Jones doesn't have anyone to throw to anymore, and Saquon is not going to be able to carry Daniel Jones in that Giants offense all by himself. Give me the Commanders.
Yeah, that's going to be I don't like it, but it's a Commanders sweep. I don't like that.
Nah.
Moving on.
Buy in, Riley. Come on now.
I don't love it.
Buy in.
Moving on, we got the Titans going to Philly to take on the Eagles, the 10-1 Eagles, the 7-4 Titans. And this, I don't know what this game's going to look like, Bryson.
Yeah.
You going to do what Jack did, sacrifice your team for the record, or you're going to go for the team?
I think I'm going to have to go with the Eagles. I'm going to be honest. They're the better team. I wouldn't even be mad if the Titans lose this game. They've been so good, and it's on the road. So yeah, give me Philadelphia.
You know what fires me up? When the Titans lose to the Eagles and the Jags beat the Lions, the Jags will be 2 games behind Tennessee in the division. And when they sweep the Titans, they'll take the division lead. Give me Philly all the way.
Bro.
You liked hearing that, don't let you?
Nah, Jack just said that, but then you turned off your PlayStation.
Hey, I'm 11-1 with the Jags and Mad right now.
Riley? I want to go last.
You want to go last?
Yes.
Are you going to pick the Titans?
What do you go pick?
You're going to pick the Titans. That's all that means.
Hey.
Pick.
If the Eagles hadn't lost to Washington, I was going to pick this game as their first loss, but that kind of got ruined.
Yeah, that loss to Washington is weird.
Go with Eagles, man.
Riley, come on, let's hurry up, buddy.
Here's the thing, right? This is just a weird type of game that the Titans would win. That's why I'm like, it's like everything in my gut is telling me Tennessee, but everything in my brain is telling me Philadelphia. And it's a revenge game, and we see how revenge games have gone. There was one last week, the Titans trying to take revenge on the Cincinnati Bengals for what happened in the playoffs.
Hey, A.J. Brown revenge week.
That's what I'm saying. It's an A.J. Brown revenge week. What do we...
Hurry up.
5-4 4, 3,
Shot
2,
clock.
1.
Shot
And-
clock.
Philadelphia.
Thank you.
Give me the Tennessee Titans for their first win over a 500 opponent. I don't care. I hate AJ Brown. Give me the Titans. They're going to get out of some whatever
Frauds.
weird offensive slump. I called them frauds last night on the show, and they are frauds, but not this week. Give me Tennessee.
Love it.
This is of all games, this is the weird Mike
Honestly,
Vrabel
I really
win.
wish this game was at night, because if this game was at night, I would pick the Titans 10 out of 10 times instead of 9 out of 10 times. But this game being in the middle of the day, it's kind of iffy, but I'm still going Tennessee. All right, moving on. We got Broncos, Ravens. This is going to be easy.
Can we not flex Tennessee, Philly, or San Fran, Miami to Sunday night instead of Colts, Cowboys? Like, please, NFL, NFL, make a change.
Nobody wants it.
Okay, but in this
or New Orleans, Tampa Bay on Monday. Just flex those two games.
Do they do flex on Monday nights?
They can't flex Monday night games.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Bryson, Broncos at the Ravens.
Dude, no question. Give me the Ravens. Broncos country, they not flying.
They not riding?
They not riding. They not flying.
No, let's fly. No, let's ride.
Hey,
they're dying. They're
Broncos country. Hey, Broncos country, we died. Dang, that's crazy.
Hey, one of my favorite moments of the season was Jay Tuck for the Ravens. Saying, he said, "Ravens flock, let's fly" on the plane. He goes, "Hey, Lamar's about to lead us in high knees. Raven flocks, let's fly." And then he's like, "But no disrespect, because we play him later in the season." And then he kind of gave his teammates this little smirk. It's like, yeah, Ravens are going to come out and smack them in the mouth, get a nice little bounce back win here at home against Denver, who to me is the second worst team in the NFL.
I can't wait until Justin Tucker hits like a 60-yard field goal to make this like a 25-point game. Give me the Ravens.
Nice.
I'm going to go a different direction. I think Justin Tucker will hit a game-winning field goal to win the game by like 4.
What?
A game-winning winner by 4.
It would be a go-ahead. It would be a go-ahead. 4. It would be a go-ahead.
We need to start clipping these and having Riley just bad takes.
That's not a bad take. That's just me not doing the math right in my head.
Nonsensical.
Wait, so you thought that they were going to kick a field goal that's worth 3 points?
I don't know why I said 4. 3.
A game winner to go up 4.
It would be a tiebreaker.
The game-winning field goal to win 20-16. A tie-breaking field goal to go up 4. Yep, that sounds right, Riley. Good job. Good job, buddy.
All right.
Shout out to Tennessee education system.
Go ahead, say it.
I don't want to say it. You make me not want to say it.
Sweep. All right.
That was not as good. You're
Shut
just
up.
not allowed to do it.
Okay, guys. Are you ready for the revenge game of the year? It is the Browns heading to Houston to take on the Texans, where Deshaun Watson makes his return to the NFL after being accused of over almost 30 sexual assaults on masseuses around the country and in the Dallas area.
And I
still can't believe he's actually going to play games this season.
And did y'all see the thing that at least 10 of the women who accused him will be going to the game to watch?
Why? Like, why is that even reported?
I don't know, but it's
why is that an article? Why is that even a thing?
That should be. It should be an article. It's a good thing to know.
Yeah, but what?
Okay.
I mean, it's making a statement.
Confused noises.
It's making a statement.
We're starting with you, Bryson.
We start with him every time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Always
easier for me.
Do you not want to start?
It's easier for me to edit when we start over there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
that's actually funny. I was
So if you want to edit,
hey,
go for
look,
I got enough on my plate, bro.
I'm gonna take the Cleveland Browns. I know, like, I can't in good conscience take this Texans team. Like, this is one of the worst football teams I've ever seen. Like, their best game of the season, they tied with the Colts, basically. I don't remember who they won. It was like, what, week 1? Have they? Oh, they beat the Jets. Dang, that's tough. But like this team, I'm not picking the Texans. Give me the Browns. I don't know if Deshaun is going to play good or not. I don't know. He might play bad, but even if he plays bad, like they
got Nick Chubb.
Texans are horrible. Yeah, the Texans are just so horribly bad.
Hey, whatever your Texans have been bad for most of their existence, but whatever your decibel record is in NRG Stadium, beat it this weekend with booze. Try to do that, fans of Houston Texans fans. That would be really fun.
Yep.
But I'm gonna take the Browns regardless. Texans are bad. Sorry, I'm not a Kyle Allen guy.
Listen, Jacoby Brissett deserves to be a starter in the NFL. I think we've already.
Maybe he should start for the Texans.
I think we've.
Hey, if Brissett was playing for Houston, who would you pick?
I think I'd pick Houston.
I'd pick Houston.
I think Houston would win more games with Brissett this year than Davis Mills.
Well, no,
they've had a couple close
crap.
games that I think.
But I'm saying for this game, just put Brissett on Houston's roster and he's playing quarterback. Everything else is the same.
I still go the Browns. They have a better offense around them.
No,
I'm going Cleveland, but I want to make it known that I think Jacoby Brissett should still be the starter for the Browns. They should have never paid Deshaun that money.
Deshaun Watson is going to be a bad quarterback from here on out. I don't think he's gonna.
For good.
I don't think he's gonna have success in the NFL. I just don't.
I don't know if I buy into that.
Well, our teammates gonna buy into him.
No.
Exactly. And we've seen how that goes with different people.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
What's up with Wilson?
But Watson is a dude. He's a guy.
Yeah, there's something about Wilson's.
Watson is a guy, though.
So you're going Browns?
I don't know if he'll be good this year.
Sweep
All right.
for the Browns.
Moving on, we got Seahawks, Rams. Oh, God. Give me the
Hawks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go first.
Sweep. Yeah.
Sweep.
Dolphins, Niners. This could be
The game of the
week right here.
I think
Exciting
this will definitely be the game of the week.
All right, who you got?
Give me the 49ers at home in this game. The Dolphins, every team has slipped up at least once. The Dolphins haven't slipped up in a while. I think this is the game where they're going to slip up. It's against a good team on the road. The only question is if Christian McCaffrey is going to be playing or not. That's I think up in the air still.
That could change the whole flow of this game.
But if Christian McCaffrey plays, I think they'll definitely win. I still think the 49ers have enough if he doesn't play.
They also don't have Elijah Mitchell. Hey, big game out of Debo if McCaffrey can't go. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners if they're relatively healthy. Jimmy G's going, McCaffrey's going, Debo's going. I think they win the game. And the defense is pretty healthy.
I think they can win even without Debo.
They'll have Debo.
They need some. They're going to need some explosive plays because Miami's offense is still going to produce unless Tua just totally craps the bed against that front.
Give me the Niners as well. Man. It's the offensive line for me. I think that.
Wait, y'all both picked the Niners?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's that defensive line for the Niners that's really helping me out. And then
they just shut out
Jimmy G's just been playing winning football. Give me Jimmy G.
Yeah, I'm gonna take San Francisco to win this. You thought I was gonna pick Miami?
I thought we were gonna have a split, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought you would have gone Miami, and I thought you would have gone Miami.
Well, I've picked Miami too many times.
He meant Bryson Riley.
Huh?
For those not watching, he meant Bryson Riley.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
Forgot we have audio.
I've got to go with San Francisco. I think they've got way too much talent. It's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I think this is where you see Tua is actually just a game manager.
All right, moving on. We got Chiefs, Bengals. Give me the Chiefs.
AFC Championship rematch. Kansas City's getting the win.
I'm not gonna lie. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals in this game.
I hate the Bengals.
I mean, I understand, but keep in mind, Jamar Chase is going to be back next week. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, one of the better wide receiver 1 and 2 combos in the NFL. They're back home after a win that was a big emotional win because obviously that's the team they played in the playoffs too. That's a big win for them. Give me the Bengals.
Don't care. Give me Mahomes.
Basically, yeah. Don't care. Give me Mahomes. I'm going with Kansas City. I think they're a better team than Cincinnati all around.
Up next, we got a divisional matchup between the Chargers and the Raiders.
Must win for the Bolts. I know the Raiders have eked out a couple of wins as of late, but doesn't matter. I think the Chargers get this win.
Chargers. I'm taking them.
Give me the Raiders.
I knew you were gonna do it.
The reason why is because history, especially under Staley, like last year, they always lost a game like this, like a game against a team you're supposed to beat that is going to put you in much better position for the playoffs. The Chargers always lose this game.
Nah, Chargers are about to get some hella revenge after the Raiders didn't send them both to the playoffs.
True.
Yeah, but
I mean that was their fault.
I loved that game. That was so great.
That was such a fun game.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Raiders. I think, and they've been good the last couple weeks.
It's going to be a very close game.
Yeah, I can respect that. But I'm going with the Chargers. Come on now.
Sunday Night Football. We got Colts, Cowboys. This one's going to be a massacre. Give me Dallas.
It won't be a massacre, but I'm going Dallas.
Yeah, Cowboys.
I will be surprised if the Colts score more than 2 touchdowns in this game.
Let's do a $10 friendly bet. I'll give you, or if the Colts keep it within 10,
here goes his gambling addiction again.
They win by more than 10, you win.
No, I don't care about the Dallas offense. I'm saying that the Colts offense,
it's going to be a massacre.
I say that the Colts offense will not score more than 2 touchdowns.
Okay, give me 10 points and let's bet it. $10.
No, I'm not a betting man.
Oh my god!
You see that the gambling addiction is kicking.
It's
in
not a
for
gambling
Jack.
addiction.
It
It's
is
just having fun.
Do you know how many times he's tried to be like,
Well, your takes
let's
have been
bet-
absurd.
let's bet
And you've
on
been
it.
so confident.
Let's bet on it.
Lions gonna win.
let's bet on it.
All right, come on, pick the games. Who you all got?
I say Cowboys.
Sunday night football sweep. I'm going with Dallas.
Bryson, you picked Dallas too?
Yeah.
Okay, I was making sure. Monday night, as we move in, the Saints and the Bucks divisional matchup. Bucks trying to get back or trying to take control of that division. Saints trying to bounce back from an ugly offensive game. Give me the Bucks at home.
Goat knows he can't go 5-7. He's got to get back to 500. Give me Tampa.
The Saints have not shown any life really the last couple of weeks. It feels like
Death.
I don't trust Andy Dalton. Give me the Buccaneers.
Make that another primetime sweep.
All right, moving on to our final segment of this episode, and that is our lock segment. We'll look at the records. I am currently tied in the lead with Riley for 22-14 on the season. I've had 4 perfect weeks.
22 and 15.
It's 22-14. That's what you just told me.
It's 22 and
Yeah,
15.
it would equal to 36.
Oh, 22-15. All right.
Does that make sense? 36, 36, 36. 22 and 15, 37.
Yeah, it's 22-14. Riley,
I did the math wrong.
Jesus Christ. 22-14. I've had 4 perfect weeks. Riley's at 22-14. He's had 1 perfect week. Jack's at 18-18, 500. Bryson's
I'd rather be 500.
4 games under 500 at 16-20. You'd rather
I'd rather be losing. I'd rather be the
not
worst
in
one.
first place.
Oh,
awful mindset. Just trying to make himself feel better.
right.
But with our locks
There's
of
the
the week,
Jags fan in him.
you got your first locks?
Yeah, my first lock, I'm going to go with, I already picked the Commanders. Give me Commanders minus 1.5
Okay.
against the Giants, right? Other thing I'm going with, we got the game everybody was going to be talking about with the Browns and the Texans. Give me the under. It's at 47.5. That's a lot, especially for a game that includes the Texans and a dude who hasn't played football in, 2 years as the starting quarterback on the other side. I think that's a little bit too much for me. And then for my last one, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do for my last one necessarily, but I think I'm going to go with give me Geno Smith passing touchdowns. Give me the over. Geno Smith's going to have a good game against the Rams. They
I
need
think
to
it's
bounce
like
back.
1.5.
Yeah, over 1.5 Geno Smith passing touchdowns.
Okay. I'm going to go pretty quick on mine. I'm going to go with over on the Chargers Raiders game per Caesars Sportsbook. Oh crap, I just had it. It was something they're going to smash. 50.5. They're smashing that over under. Both defenses are bad. Then I'm going to say Nick Chubb over 86.5 rush yards against the putrid Houston run defense. I think they'll integrate Watson slowly and lean on the run. And then the Ravens cover 8 points against Denver all day long.
All right.
The Panthers just beat them by like 13. So come on.
Yeah, I'll
Baltimore
go.
covers what?
8. That's the line right now.
8.
Crazy line.
All right, I'll go. Give me the Titans at +5. Their last 4 games have been 4 points, 3 points, 7 points, or that's 10 points, my bad. 7 points, 3 points, 7 points, 9 points. They're play close games,
Yeah.
all right? And especially when they play good teams, they play, other than Buffalo, they've played at least close games. Give me the Titans at +5 over the Eagles. I actually have them to win outright, but I'm not doing that as my lock. Next off, I am gonna go the over in the Lions Jags game. It's at 51.5. That's gonna be all offense in that game, with a little defense sprinkled in at times in crucial moments. And then for my player prop, I am gonna go over to the Indianapolis-Dallas game and give me CeeDee Lamb over on 79.5 receiving yards.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Against Stephon Gilmore. Okay.
Stephon Gilmore's a bum.
Okay. all
Why?
right.
Because he's on the Colts.
All right. Yeah. I had Nick Chubb over 91.5 yards rushing, Chargers to cover 1.5 points, and Kansas City to cover 2.5 points.
All right.
I'll do it. Ranking shows tonight, guys. Excited.
This is an NFL pod. Stop talking college
No,
football.
but it's just I'm just thinking about what I'm excited about.
No college football until the draft.
All right, everyone. This has been another edition of the Cover 4 podcast brought to you by WTK's Rock Solid Sports. Don't forget to like and share to get all past future episodes of Cover 4 for all your NFL news, takes, and more. For Bryson, Jack, Riley, I'm Joseph. We'll see y'all next week on Cover 4. Peace.